Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. I'm Clarissa Kenty, your Kingdom concierge. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday to everyone. I am so excited about today. It was a beautiful day today. I was working, of course, in the office, but I'm almost certain I'm going to take my office and put it outside so I can enjoy the beautiful scenery. The weather was perfect. I mean, really, today, if you want to look at the weather, today was a perfect day just to be outside and just enjoy the day. So it was great. I enjoyed it, but I did work a little good bit in the office as well. So hey, maybe tomorrow will be another day for me to get out. But we want to welcome you again back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. Go ahead and share this live right now if you're just coming on, because we have a great show tonight. We have Janice Dixon Smith. She's back in the ladies' room. This is not her first time. She has been in the ladies' room before, and she talked about real estate. But tonight, guys, listen, Janice is going to be addressing something that is starting to spread worldwide. And we see it right here in Birmingham, Alabama. And I'm so excited about the initiative that she has going on. It's going to help so many homeless people. And I believe that once we get through with the show tonight, we'll be able to share some things with you in a way that you can help the homeless as well, and get them off the streets and transition them into a lifestyle that will be conducive for them, something they can be proud of and bring their children into and their family and move their families in safely, get them out of the elements and get them into a very safe environment. Before we go out to Janice, guys, listen, we had the Miss Senior Jefferson County pageant on last week, I believe, and we had a good time. Miss Victoria is our new Miss Senior Jefferson County 2024. Beautiful, amazing, awesome woman. If you saw the show when all the contestants came on, she was the one that's the Zumba instructor, guys. And she can do that Zumba too. Now, let me tell you, she can do it. And she really did an amazing job. That does not look her age at all. Beautiful woman. And all of them are amazing queens in my book, and they did a great job. They all came with their A game and did a phenomenal job. But kudos to the new queen, Miss Victoria, who is the winner 2024, and the woman, or the queen who crowned the new queen. That's a tongue twister. The new one is going to be competing for the Miss Senior Alabama. So she's going to be doing that in January. We're excited about that, and our prayers are for her. I believe that she has a really great chance at bringing that crown home back to Birmingham, Alabama, and I believe that she'll do that. So let's just keep her uplifted. I know she will give and do her very best on that to represent our very fine city and our very fine county, Jefferson County. So we're going to bring Miss Janice into the Ladies Room Talk Show. Guys, I'm excited about this topic. I'm excited about this initiative that she's bringing to Birmingham and to Jefferson County. So let's go ahead and check it out. Hey, Janice.
Hey, Clarissa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good, good. Now, listen, let's talk a little bit, because you have a really good initiative that you're working on, and it's something that's going to eradicate, I believe, the homeless situations that we're having here in Birmingham, Alabama. And so, Janice, let's talk about it. You have Dominion Transition Living. Let's talk about that. Tell us a little bit about what that initiative is all about, and so we can learn a little bit more.
Well, our objective is we actually own a 9 bedroom. Um, I don't want to say boarding home, but it's a transitional living facility in the Inslee area off of Avenue V. And our hopes, when we say eradicate homelessness, it is such a huge and massive issue that we're dealing with, not only here in Birmingham, state of Alabama, but everywhere. I remember just a couple of weeks ago, I attended a conference in Atlanta, and I was just amazed at the number of homeless people that were sleeping on the streets and right in front of the hotel where I paid several $100s just to spend the night, but they were homeless and under blankets, and at that time it was a really cold day, cold night, rainy night that night, and it's just an issue that we not only deal with here in Alabama. Just some statistics in January 2023, there are approximately 653,000 people who experience homelessness in the United States. This is the highest number of reported people homeless since 2007. This means that about 20 out of every 10,000 people in the United States were homeless on a single night in January 2023. 72% of the homeless population are individual adults, while 28% of people living in families with children. And that's the thing that you just shake your head. There are people that are homeless living with family members, but they're still homeless because they don't have a place that they can call their own. 22% of the homeless population are chronically homeless, and 6% of them are veterans. And when we look at veterans, these are people that have made huge sacrifices for our freedom and huge sacrifices for us. But yet and still, when they come back from service, we teach them how to kill. But as Dr. Paul with PDI, who is also a great advocate for homelessness with veterans, we don't teach them how to live. So that's the thing. These statistics, a lot of times we don't think about them. We see a lot of people that are homeless, but it's a huge problem. And what we're doing is just a very small part of being able to work with veterans and be able to work with women to have a safe and secure place for them to live. And that's why we call it a transitional living facility, because it's not to be a permanent place of stay. It's just supposed to be somewhere to kind of get them back up on their feet and to help them to live whole, productive lives.
I like that. I like the fact that you have a program in place that cannot help them get off the streets, but it helps them transition into how to conduct themselves in a living facility. Because people think sometimes you just get a house or you get an apartment or something, you get out on your own, and it's just easy. And it's not. I mean, there's things to taking care of a home. If you have a home, you need to know how to maintain it. You need to know how to take care of it. You need to know the ins and outs of how it works, where the breaker box is, cutting the grass, keeping it edged up. It's more than just cutting the grass. You need to edge that thing up so it looks good. Get the loose grass up.
That's good.
The sleeve, the leaves that come down. You want to make sure that you do that. Certain things you want to do, and cleaning the vent behind your dryer, or vacuuming the vent in the refrigerator up under that. Certain things that is just not told to you. They don't give you a handbook on how to take care of a home.
Right, right.
A lot of times we learn either by what we saw before us,
Mm-hmm.
or just by getting educated. And so I like the fact that not only are you putting them in housing, or you the time that you're in that transition, you're teaching them basic home living.
Right.
Janice, that's something that home ec was the bomb back in the day. Do you hear me?
For me too.
It
That's
was the bomb.
cakes, pound cakes in home
Yeah,
ec.
yes. Just basic things. They teach you how to iron, and how to do just basic things. And that program, I don't know if you know it or not, they don't have it in the schools anymore.
Yeah, that's sad though.
Yeah. And so you have a lot of young ladies who don't know how to cook, a lot of women who don't know how to cook, they don't know how to do some basic things.
Right.
And it's hard for them to function in the way that they need to sometimes, because they're missing those little things, I call them, that we learned in home ec and basic things. So I like the fact that you're implementing those skills, those
Right.
basic home living skills, as
Mm-hmm.
we're pulling these people off the streets, putting them into safe housing, and you're transitioning them, getting their mindset different,
Mm-hmm.
to get into a good and substantial home. And so while they're in this facility, Janice, do you have things like financially to help them, to put down a down payment, help them with their credit and such?
We do. We it's amazing the people that have reached out to me, through the exposure that, God has allowed in various forums, whether it be on the news or,
Right.
on the internet and just talking to people. Um, I'm just amazed at people that have reached out and said that they are willing to, you know, form a collaborative effort. I even got a call from the IRS, and I'm like, this got to be a wrong number. I'm like, oh my God, it's got to be really bad if they're calling me like this on a personal level. But they were calling me to say that they had saw the news clip that Channel 13 had done, and that they had a hiring freeze, but they were willing to connect me with the contractors that did the hiring for them, and they were willing to try to see if there were women that had the skill set. My biggest thing is it seems like it's taking a little bit longer to get it off the ground. Um, I was over at the house today doing some things, and um, it seems like it's a little bit harder to like, okay, we're open. First, I had to go back and do all of the house rules, and I had to do the lease, and I had to do, different things to make sure that we build the right foundation. I couldn't just put a sign out in the yard say rooms for rent, come everybody come in. There has to be some type of structure where we're making sure that we're doing the most good for the best people.
Right.
That people call me and they have family members that have mental problems and mental illness, and I don't shun, I don't look down on those people because it's not anything I'm ashamed of at all. I had that run in my family. My mother was manic depression. She suffered from manic depression from the time we were babies. And I remember she had four small babies, their steps. My sister and I weren't even a year apart. We were like 11 months apart. And I had another sister that was the baby. She was like 3 years younger than us. But we were like 2 and 3 and 4. And my grandmother, we had to go live with her for long periods of time. I mean, like not a couple of weeks. We were there for like months, sometimes almost a year, because my mom would be, in the hospital because she couldn't take care of us. And my dad had to work, and there was no one to watch four small children while he tried to work. So my grandmother was that life support for us. So we can't deal with the mental illness. My sister, the latter part of her life, she ended up dying very young at 43 of congestive heart failure and a group home. But she so I don't look down on that, but I already know what it requires to really take care of people that have these emotional problems. And so our home at this point can't offer that because we don't have the finances or the resources. But we do offer a very nice, comfortable place to live. And that was my thing when I was, started looking at this and started seeing all the news reports of places that weren't kept up or where people lived in what I would consider substandard conditions. And my thing is, I would never want anyone to live in something that I would be comfortable in myself.
Right.
That's with me selling houses. I'll never want someone to make a home purchase, whether it's under 100,000 or a million. If it's not somewhere that they're comfortable in, if it's somewhere that I wouldn't live myself, I wouldn't buy myself. So that's just my thought process. So we spent a lot of time and effort, making the place really nice. We changed the inside paint color to brighten it up, to make it pop and to make it a place people be proud to call home. In addition to the 9 bedrooms, we have a nice dining room, and we have a game room or a day room where you can just with leather sofas and just somewhere you can just sit around if you want to come out of your room. But we're looking for people that they won't be sitting there all day. We're looking to kind of partner them in situations where they can do job training, mentorships. We want and get employment. That's what we're looking for them to do. That's why we call it a transitional living facility. It's not a handout, but a handout.
Right. So, Janice, how long can a person stay in this facility?
We're looking at like 12 to 18 months. We're thinking 18 months they should be pretty good if they really apply themselves.
Right.
They should be maybe 18 months is what we're looking at. If they need to go a little bit longer, we will make exceptions, but we're looking at 12 to 18 months.
So, Janice, most people when they're coming off the streets, they really don't have much. They have what they have.
Mhm.
of them don't have clothes or shoes or
Right.
underwear, some of your basic things. So does Dominion provide that
I
for
think
them?
I received several calls from people that had clothes, shoes that they wanted to donate, and I'm working behind the scenes now because this is a solo effort in a sense. Um, and hopefully I can, I'll bring more people on board that can really help.
Right.
But I was able to finally identify an area where we could store all the stuff because we didn't have anywhere to store it there on site right now. Um, so just looking at that option, you're right. They don't have, some of them don't have just the basic necessities. And then some of them don't have the finances. Those are the things that I'm dealing with right now. It can be overwhelming, and that's why I started a nonprofit called Dominion Serves You, and that's the philanthropic side of the business that will allow us to try to get grants and other type funding. If
Right.
someone wants to make a donation, it goes into that 501c3. I've had people make contributions, and I'll just put it into that 501c3 so that can be the avenue to help with the financing side of it. But right now, the renovations, the way we changed the trajectory of how the whole house looks, how how nice it is, how comfortable. And when you renting, you're just not renting a room, but the rooms are furnished.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
they're furnished with a not extravagant, but we do have a bed, a nightstand, a chair, a dresser, and a closet in every single room.
Nice.
So, and then the dining room is furnished. We have three full bathrooms, one in each section, where you have four rooms here. You have a bathroom for that group, four rooms on the other side, a bathroom for that one, and then four rooms upstairs. So, there's a bathroom, a full bath for each section of the house. We have refrigerators, like four refrigerators. So it's ready as far as all the stuff is in there now. We've made some significant investments to make sure that people are safe. We have a top-notch camera system, um, where we know who goes in and out, and fire alarms and stuff, all this connected to the system. We have cameras on every floor, cameras on every door. So, we have it set up now. We're getting there. I would say we're 95% there. We just installed a complete heating and air system. We have a washer and dryer where you don't have to leave the building to go wash your clothes. We have stoves, microwaves, kitchen. We just want to make. I just want to make sure it's comfortable for people, where they can feel like it's not the cheapest place. And I'll tell anybody, it's not the cheapest place. It's not the highest either. But for the comfort and the amenities that you receive from it, we hope we feel that it's worth it.
And what are some of the requirements that makes one eligible if they're homeless coming off the streets into Dominion? Do you have certain requirements? Is there an application that they need to
Well,
complete?
there's an intake application. There's a lease. Those were the things that I had to work on. On the intake application, we look for things like personal information. We want to get references. Somebody, you can give us a name of somebody that knows you, that can kind of vouch for you. I know you're homeless, but is there anybody that can vouch for you? We look, hopefully, some people can be employed but still be homeless. I've known people, especially women, there's something about the strength of a woman. They'll be homeless and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
You won't even know it. But they'll go to work every day and sleep in a car.
Hmm.
Um, and so that's the thing is just if they're working, that's a good thing because then they can, at least be able to pay the room rent weekly, and at some point uh, be able to not have to be in a transitional living facility, but be in a house that they own. So
Mhm.
that's the thing. We do have an intake application, which is just very general, where we try to ask for references. We want their working employment information. We want housing information that we ask if they've ever, um, you know, do you have any, we ask stuff like if they want to bring pets. We just try to cover everything to
Right.
make sure that it's a good fit. And that's the intake application, but we also have a lease, and it's like about 9 pages that we ask, more detailed questions, and we kind of go through. Um, so it won't be any surprises. Hopefully, we're trying to do a good job on the front end. So when we get people and tenants in there, it's not a big issue with things happening that they weren't made aware of. So we have a whole packet
Okay.
of information with the house rules. Those are critical. We don't. This is a transitional living for the tenant, not for your boyfriend or your significant other or your children to stay over. We just have to have rules and stuff, even with allowing them to wash their clothes. We don't want people arguing on, we have certain want to have certain time slots and all that stuff. We're trying to address. We may not address everything, but there are a lot of things that we want to address. Curfews. And, you may be with family or go somewhere, but just abandoning and not coming back. And we just want to be able to kind of keep keep a tab on what's going on with the rates, the payments and stuff. All those things we try to address in the house rules.
And so, do you accept the full family, a husband, a wife, and children?
At first, we were saying it needed to be for women only, but my husband, I have consulted, and he, if it's families, that would be different. But we're looking for right now. Either it will be either women or either men. We weren't looking at it to be co-ed.
Okay. So, if there's a
Right
family,
for everybody. We're not the right fit for everybody. So if it's a family, that may not. That's probably not the place for them.
okay, okay. And I noticed that most facilities are like that.
Hmm.
What I want, is there a reason why, maybe, or does it come with too much something, or
I hate to call it drama because that may not be the case, but when you're in these facilities, um, it's a collaborative effort where you are close to people.
right?
I mean, you're sharing the same kitchen, you're sharing the same space, you're sharing the dining area. It's just a lot of sharing, and I think if you are not where you can get along, that may be a problem because we have not had. Now, uh, have me on a year from now, I may be able to tell you some stories, but
Right, right.
my hopes that we can get the right people in there that can kind of gel, and they all have the same goal: is that this is a transitional living facility. This is just a temporary situation right now, and they're all looking to do something different and something better at some point within the next several months.
Mhm. Now, is there an age limit?
I think I did have an age limit on there because I know a lot of homelessness occurs with young people
Hmm.
who age out of foster care, but that's something probably we need to specify
Okay.
in the. I'm glad you brought it up in the requirements. So I don't think I have an age limit. I was dealing with everything else, but I do know that there are a lot of children that age out of foster care and they're homeless.
Yeah.
It's not a facility for to address that. I've actually worked closely with organizations that address foster care, and I realized the dire need for housing for young people. But I'm thinking that this is for like more mature people.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Man, this is, I'm so excited that you are doing this. I think you mentioned your husband. You and your husband both are team
Yeah.
to do this.
He's
That's
been
beautiful.
a significant part of my team. I do have a board,
Hmm.
but he's been such a significant part of this whole process. And I don't think I could have done it without him. I know I couldn't have done it without him.
Hmm.
So we both have just invested a lot of. blood, sweat, and tears into getting the facility really nice and how it is today. We were fortunate and blessed to have a friend, a church member at the time, and he was going through homelessness when we bought the facility back December 2022. And he stayed there, and his life is totally transitioned. And that's what I want to see is that people come there, they need a little help right now, but now they're at a point where their lives are so fulfilling, and he's getting ready to get married. It's just amazing,
Wow.
you know, what he's done, and then with him being there, the money we saved with him because he's good with his hands, being able to do work around there at cost, a significant cost saving to us. Just being in there to kind of weed off the people vandalizing the place
Mhm.
or squatters coming living in there. He has really been a blessing.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's been there since 2022. And I'm just amazed at his life and what God did. At that time, he probably needed to be there. Really, now you don't.
Mhm.
Like, how much longer we got before we get this place, really up and going? Because
Mhm.
we're getting ready to move on, and that's what we want to see. We want to see people lives changing and to move on to a different phase of life and to be really productive in life.
Right. Right. So, how can someone get in contact with you, Janice, or your husband on either if they are interested, if they're watching this live and they may be homeless, how can they get connected?
They
Or
can call me.
someone that they maybe want to recommend to be a
Okay.
part of this, how
Right.
can someone get connected with you?
They can call me. My number is 205-585-7796. That's 205-585-7796. They can also go to my website at www.dominionpropertyservices.com. That's Dominion, DOMINION, propertyservices.com. And it will have a link for Dominion Transitional Living, and it will answer probably 80 to 90% of the questions you may have. The intake application is there, the house rules are there, the lease is there, just a general overview of what we're trying to accomplish is there. Or they can always email me at JAD, D as in David, Smith, SMITH, the number 5 and the number 9 at gmail.com.
Excellent. All right, guys, there you have it. How you can get in touch with Janice and with Dominion Transitional Living. So, for those who are homeless coming off the streets, or you may have hit a hard time and you need something to kind of get you settled until you can transition into that next phase of upgrade in your living, you certainly want to reach out to Janice for this. And, Janice, what I like to have my listeners to do at the end of the show is to give some form of encouraging word. And so I'll come out of the live, I'll bring you front and center, and if there's a word that you can encourage somebody, there may be someone who's living in their car. There may be someone who's does not have a home or they're homeless. What can you do to encourage those people to not be embarrassed, to go ahead and make that step and to make a step towards transitioning into an upgrade of life? What are some encouraging words you can leave for that person?
I would say, weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. Persevere. Don't give up. This is so temporary. I know it seems like it's the end of the world, that it won't get any better, but I've seen some of the greatest testimonies come from people that were homeless. In the real estate realm, if you can look up Terica Lynn Smith, she talked about living under a bridge with her son. I think she was 17, 16, very young, but she is now one of the largest, most prominent real estate developers in the world. And so it was because she refused to give up, and she only saw that as a temporary situation, and made a vow that my son would never live this way, and that she would do something different. And so that's what I just tell people. This too will pass. Don't think that where you are right now is it. It's not it. It's just one chapter in your book, but that chapter will serve as a spinoff or a springboard to greater things in life. That's what I would say.
Amen. I love it, guys. It's a springboard.
Mhm.
And I love that. But you can only spring off that board if you take a step onto it. So don't give up. As Janice says, keep your hands to the plow, keep pushing, keep pressing towards, and keep believing. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So you want to always have a vision before you and keep pressing towards that until the manifestation comes. So Janice, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I enjoyed it.
I enjoy being here.
And thank you for sharing about Dominion Transitional Living. I'm excited about that. And I'm looking for great things to come out of this. And in those 12 months, it may not take a person 12 months, it may take them 6 months.
That's right. Yeah.
But it's good. Yeah. But it's good to know um, that you have that type of uh, span to where you can get yourself together. You don't feel rushed like you only have 30 days or 60 days.
Right.
That's really good. And we have Janice Williams is here on the live. She actually works with our senior citizens in Jefferson County. And she says senior services calls come from the homeless, and we need more homes. We have so many abandoned buildings in the city and homes that could be used for this need. That is amazing.
That's true.
Yes, this is amazing. And Janice also said, Janice said that she's going to keep you in mind
Thank you
because
so much.
of the community of people that she works with in Jefferson County.
That's
So,
what we
I,
need. That's what we need.
yeah, I'm loving this connection right here, Janice and Janice. So y'all can easily remember each other's names. How about that?
I remember Jan.
So, excuse me, I'll try to get that number to you at some point,
Okay.
Jan, or get hers her, you to, get you guys connected because you do need to be connected. I think that's a good collab there.
And that's why I keep thinking, it seems like sometimes you hit a brick wall, but I just keep praying and God keeps telling me, keep move forward and do this. And I'm like, okay, I know there's a need, but
Right.
it's like, where is the connection, the right connection?
Hmm.
And so that's what I'm just waiting on. It's there. And when I go look at the places, it is places. I don't have to say it's beautiful. I had someone coming off the street today. He used to live there. He showed me his room. We walked in together and looked around, and he said, I used to be in that room right there. He said, man, this place is so wow. This place is really different from when I lived here. So that made me feel good that it was a different vibe and a different environment because that's what we were trying to accomplish.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Oh, can't wait to hear the stories and the testimonies and have some of those people to come on the
Yes,
show and give their testimony. I'm looking forward to
yes,
that too. So, Janice, again, thank you so much for joining us here inside the Ladies Room Talk Show. Know that you can come anytime. Have any updates, any new information, some new news, hot off the press, come into the Ladies Room and share, because that just by coming in today, you're able to connect
yes,
with Janice Williams, who works for senior
yes,
citizens in Jefferson County. So, and that's what we're all about in the Ladies Room. We're about bringing information that's helpful, that's going to help somebody else, it's going to change lives. We want to be the change that we want to see and believe. And being able to connect people like you and Janice together, I think this is going to be a good connection. I'm looking forward to it and see what God has in store for the two of you. So,
yes.
again, guys, thank you so much for joining us inside the Ladies Room Talk Show. Have a wonderful, great, and rest of the week. Stay safe and stay the course. Good night.
You can, Clarissa. You have a good night.